So yeah, today's technique is really simple, but I think it's really nice to kind of bring it back down and simplify things sometimes so you can focus on like your colors and parts and pieces, things like that. Today we are doing domed enamels. So here's a close-up of how pretty. And the fun part is you don't even have to be perfect on how you paint your background because the resin that you layer on top really just seals everything in together perfectly. So, little side view, super pretty. So all I'm doing is getting, I don't know, what'd you say, like half a dime size amount. And just squeeze it all on there and use the back of your brush and just take it. And I was saying to my mom that it's like this big brush end is like a bumper, like bowling bumpers. So all you have to do is just swirl it out to the sides. About that much. And if you don't put enough down, you can always add more, like that one. I didn't put enough, so we're just gonna add a little more. Okay. I've just been wiping off the brush in between every time, just so you can keep your end nice. If you don't care, obviously that's fine too. All right. Okay, and last but not least, coral.
Yeah.
I can just pop some of the big ones. Show you guys how simple. Cute. So yeah, I'm not going to take the time and pop all the bubbles, but you get the idea. So you just go in and for whatever reason, the metal to the bubble is what takes care of the pop. So it's easier to do that even than if you had paint on the end of your tip for whatever reason. I don't know. Sciencey people, why is that? So the pin I use and I just put it here, grab and pull. Because we let our other enamels dry. I just did them a few minutes ago just so they'd be completely dry. Oh, another tip I wanted to tell you guys with these, and we did it on this one, but if you store your paints, since all you guys have the master set by now, you want to so you take the bottle and just paint the top of your lid, let it dry, and then you can store them and see which colors. You could also try and just fill in the triangle, that'd be cute. All right, so here's the fun and simple part is take your charm, if you buy the bundle, use your filigree moon, and honestly, if you did not want to see it as a moon, you don't have to. You could flip it like this and it could be a bib. So you could do it.
Yeah.
So that would be really beautiful too. So if you don't want to see it as a moon, just think a little deeper and realize that you can change it into a bib. But we're going to do moons because we love moons. All right, so I like to just grab here in the middle and just so I can set it down nice and easily. And these are dry so you can move them around. Again, going in with the eye pin and just going to position that exactly where we want it. I'm going to do each step with all of the pieces so you guys can see what it's like to kind of work in an assembly line with these. Because there's so much more available. Just setting these all in here. Would say if you want to, be more linear, just line up the top loops too. instead of just having them all willy-nilly down there. Okay, there, now they're all nice and linear. I like having all the moons the same way sometimes, so you focus on the colors behind. The repetition gets you looking at the colors instead of the centerpiece. Here is the resin we've been using, just from Hobby Lobby. You can get any resin really, but we just know this one works, so that's why we buy it. So I'm just putting resin in the center of the moon and almost letting it seep underneath the back side, because, and I can show you here with our extra, but if you can see when it's on its side there, there's like a little channel that's perfect for the resin to sink into. So I'm just filling it just a little bit until we get, and you can even see if you look closely as it was sitting there, it started to sink into the back. So that's a great little tip with this. So just make a little bead and it'll sink all the way in there. And sometimes you'll get these little flecks of whatever from your art room, like this here, we got a little chunk of something. But if you want to get it out, you can just pull it out. I'm trying to get it out with this bead all. That's a good tip. So take your eye pin and use it like a scoop and just scoop it out. Cool, that worked great. Okay, now that's all sinking to the back of the moons. If you wanted to, you could cure it here. Okay, so I was saying we can cure it here if you didn't want your moons to move around, and they won't really because we've got the resin going, but go ahead and you can just do your full dome at this point. So pretty decent sized blob in the center here, and it's going to start to go out to the edges. On its own, it'll self-level. So that started to go out to the sides, and now I need it to go out to the other side. So I'm going to do more on the back side of the moon. Yeah, it really gives it that like almost bead quality, or obviously stone quality, that we keep emulating as we're creating these new color combinations and techniques with our, yeah, also keep notice on how it is totally smoothing out any imperfections in the paint, since we were not super careful with that. It's always fun to be able to be lazy on a step or two. And the reason I'm pulling, you could obviously just pour more resin on, but I'm liking that more flat dome. So I like to go a little less on the resin and then pull it out to the sides. Like here, I can tell there's still some open area up there. This one is very easy, and we do try to explain it for you guys and make it easy. And you can always take your time, like just pick a technique and just work on it for a minute. And the more, I always get better any technique I do, because you're just gaining more control over your hand and getting a better idea of, you know, making things in general. So the more you do, the better you get, and it doesn't even matter where you start. So this one and this one, I added a little more because I had put less resin, so I'm just evening it out, making sure all the moon is covered. It's meditative, repetitive. Like I was saying, it's nice to be able to just focus on the colors you want to choose. You could always mix colors, mix your own colors, but we spent a lot of time developing these paints so that you could use them on our own. I know we never do that, hardly ever. It's just use our straight up paint colors by themselves, but that is why we developed them and spent as long as we did. So it's not just like garish primary colors, they're very curated. These look really beautiful. This one here, I filled a little bit too much, so you can see there's a little bead of resin that came out. I'm just gonna clip that off. And I don't even think I need to fix that. Sometimes if you clip off, it'll leave like a chalky mark. You can just add a little layer of resin over the full top and it's perfect. It gets rid of anything like that. It's like I did that again here. Got that one really good too, so lucked out on that. Okay, so I think we have some time. Yeah, we've got a little bit of time. I will, thank you, assemble our necklace.
And one.
Okay, so with this large link chain, it is unsoldered, so you're able to, save a little bit of chain or use them as jump rings. You can do. We do sometimes, but just open it and then pull it out. I'm just gonna count out every link in between. So for the center one, I always just pull up the ends and then pull the center like that. Okay, and these JR45s, they are malleable enough to just use your finger to open them. And pull up your center link. Okay, 7 in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make sure they're going the correct direction. Okay, perfect strength. Neither of these are centered because we want it to lay when you're wearing it on your neck. We want it to lay kind of in like a every other pattern. Thank you. Okay, so basically we want two, I don't know if you can get that, there we go. Two hanging the same with 4 links in between. So what I'll do is pick this up end to end and look at our 4 links that are hanging. Okay, so we want this one and this one. Okay, so we're gonna open up our link, and we really loved adding in the compass just to break up your eye as you're looking at your necklace. Only 5 in between that time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes I like to just, if I have to go grab something, just pull it out so I know where to go back. So you don't have to stare at it while you're trying to find your other piece. we matched that up. Now I'm just gonna add the clasp. I always add it to, if you're looking at your necklace, put it on the left side so that if you're a righty, when you're putting it on, your clasp is in your right hand. Okay, get that last clasp on there. Here is the top portion of the necklace and our bottom. See if I can get them to balance here. Really loved having you guys on today, and it was super fun and relaxing and simple. And this is also nice because you can change where you're hooking in your clasp into your chain. You can kind of customize the lengths. But yeah, have fun with making them, and feel free to pick other colors than what we used or use what we use.